Rolling.
Alrighty. Damo, just want to tell us how it's looking out there to start off with?
That's good. Yeah, we're 2 days out, so we're pretty happy where it's at. We're really happy, really. So it's where we want it to be. Nothing really new from what we've done over the last 7 or 8 years. And yeah, compaction and moisture is where we want it.
Anything vastly different from the Shield game that was here a couple of weeks ago? I mean, obviously that was a bit weather affected, but prep-wise?
Not a lot. I suppose both Shield games, whether it's red ball or the pink one, we're trying to replicate the Shield and the test preparation. So yeah, very similar.
Did you do anything different to that one from other previous pink ball pictures that you've done?
Not really. You adapt every year and you tweak things every year. From our side, it's probably our height of cut during the off season more than anything, more than during the year. It's just some finer details that we just try to do just to try and keep improving.
From a curator's perspective, what is the ideal depth for a pink ball test that varies from a red ball picture?
Again, everything tends to stay the same. So it's a coarse matter grass, even grass cover, good deep moisture, but dry and hard. So something where the quicks will get a bit out of it, spinners will be able to get some bite and turn and bounce. But also important for us to get some partnerships and the players and the batters to be able to play their shots.
How many balls of grass are you looking at having on 5 match day?
Should be around 6. Yeah. Right now we're at 7, but I reckon 6 minutes.
We get something into a 5-day pink test. Do you think that's something that could happen this weekend?
Not sure, Tom. Like, the players will dictate that. So yeah, we'll look. All we do is try to produce a pitch that provides an even contest between bat and ball. Both teams have like elite bowlers, world-class bowlers. I mean, we've seen enough day-nighters to know that if you get the new rock under lights with 2 new batters in, that it can be very tricky. So, you know, the teams obviously play that game and adapt and are quite tactical when they do that. If there's an opportunity to get the new ball under lights, it'll be tricky. So if they don't, which the Shield pitch showed that if you didn't get the new ball under lights and you had a couple of set batters in, you're able to see through some nighttime cricket.
What about the bounce and is there any assistance for the spinners on day 4, day 5?
It should. Adelaide Oval traditionally plays a role, spin plays a role, so we don't see that changing, and I think history suggests that spin plays a role out here, most definitely.
Damien, there have been quite a few players saying in the last little while that the combination of Kookaburra ball changing a couple of years ago and then also feeling like there's a bit more grass on pitches around the country that it's gotten harder to top all the batters. Like, what's your view on, I suppose, how the change of ball has affected things?
I don't get caught up on the change of ball. So when you talk players, you probably mean batters.
Yes.
So yeah, look, our job is to try and create an even contest between bat and ball. So our focus has always been on that. How do we produce an even contest, whether it's the old square that we had or whether it's a drop-in. So how do we produce that contest? For us, we've got a game plan that we stick to. In general, feedback has been really positive. Do we always get it right? You don't always get it right, but it's not through a lack of trying. So as long as you know that you're giving it your all, you're trying to create that balance, and you want the players to be able, the batters to be able to have their time to shine as well. You just got to do the best you can. I don't get caught up in the ball side of things. My job's really just to produce a pitch and do the best I can with the strip of grass. So that's what we focus on. And we're always seeking feedback from the players. But yeah, we'll see how it goes this week.
And what was the feedback about that wicket for the game against Victoria a few weeks ago, where like it was a little bit like, I suppose, an old school, old square thing on the last day where Lloyd home swooping the ball a long way and getting wickets that way.
It was, feedback was unbelievable. It was like your best case test match going late on day 4, and the feedback, whether it was text messages or verbally, was outstanding. So if we could produce every pitch we ever produced in a longer format like that Victoria game, we'd be happy. So if we could do something close for the test match, we'd be extremely happy.
You saw the bird wicket
day one it was behaving completely different, and then from day two it just changed. What about this lake hot sampling? How can we say that it will drastically change from day one to day two as the game progresses, or you think it will hold up?
I'll never predict what is going to happen. You'll never hear me predict what I think will happen over the 5 days. You don't want the pitch drastically changing. Do you want it to change? Of course you do. A test match, you should see it change throughout the course of the 4 or 5 days. Drop-in pitches are a bit more challenging, there's no doubt about that, because they hold together so well. Traditionally in Adelaide, it should do enough with the new ball for the whole game, and it still should grip into that grass and bounce and spin for the whole game. But as the ball gets older, hopefully the players or the batters can build partnerships and score some runs. So I'm too far removed from what happened in Perth with our own Shield game going on that we were focusing on, so I won't comment on how it went over there. But there's so many things that come into it, isn't it? It could be the ball that you get, it could be the conditions, what was the weather like leading into it, all of that. From our side, we've got a couple warmer days coming up. Friday looks like thunderstorms, which is a bit unique for Adelaide this time of year, but we just got to roll with it, control what we can control.
Can you tell us the measurement of the grass?
6 millimetres. 6 millimetres. Well, on game day, first day will be 6 millimetres.
Then, what is the difference between preparing a pitch for the red ball test match and a pink ball test match?
Nothing from our side. So probably in 2015, yes, it was definitely different. We left more grass on there to protect the ball, but we do that red ball, pink ball now. The same preparation techniques going on, exactly the same.
Jamie, is it harder to get a test wicket ready or get a drop in New York ready?
Good question. Both challenging, but we'll leave it at that. Very, very, very. New York was challenging, but it was a great opportunity for the team and myself to get over there. We learn a lot. Anything you do in such a short period of time definitely keeps you awake at night and keeps you thinking through steps to work through those challenges. But no bigger occasion than Australia and India in a test match.
Back in the day, Adelaide was known for the real battathons and draws. And are you happy that you're going to err one way these days here, that you'd err on wickets tumbling and a test like we saw last year? Clearly you want to balance, but would you prefer that way?
You want perfection every time you prepare a pitch. So it's a good question. I was actually talking to Les about it last week. So a really good question. Look, do you want a 5-day and a draw out of it? Obviously not. But do you want a 2.5-day game? No, you don't. You've got to get that balance right. The fans come, they want to see cricket, whether it's here or at home. So we play a role. The players play the game at the end of the day, but we do play a role. I own that. We'll just try to do the best we can. So wickets falling is exciting, but 10 wickets and 300 runs would be ideal, if I was honest with you. That produces exciting cricket and with runs and wickets falling.
Did you mention weather out tell you about Friday?
Looks wet, Andrew. Yeah, so Friday looks like there could be thunderstorms. So it seems, I'm not sure exactly on the timing of those storms coming through, but we're expecting the ball covers a bit on Friday, and then hopefully it clears out Saturday morning by the sounds of it, and then it should be good for the remainder of the test match.
Often many test matches finish inside 3 days, even in red ball cricket. How do you see that when there is the same is the case in pink ball, there is a much criticism? How do you look at that?
Look, again, we just got to try and produce a pitch that's a good contest between bat and ball. It's not always. So when you guys played here last time under the pink ball, there's not too many times you have games where every ball that went past the bat sniffed, you hit it. That doesn't happen too often. So on the morning of day 3, no one would have expected that test match to finish in 3 days. That was just a really good bowling from Australia. So, you know, I don't get caught up on that because I don't think that the pitch played a part in that. I think it's just really good bowling. So, but our job is to get that balance right, try to get a really good, even contest. The players play the game. Sometimes the bowlers can have a good day out and the bowlers can bowl well. Same as the batters can have good days out. So as long as there's something in it for all aspects, you know, whether it's batting, bowling, you know, fast bowling, spin bowling, and every part of the game can come out and shine at some stage through the test match. That's all I worry about. I don't get caught up in how long the game's gone or, you know, what's going on. I just want a good contest, and we're trying to produce a pitch that allow the players to shine.
But do you think that this test match has a possibility of going into the 4th day, especially the way both teams played in Perth?
I can't answer that because if Australia get the new ball at 8:30 at night and facing 2 new batters in at the crease, it's going to be hard for India to bat on. It's no different if Bumrah gets a new ball under lights at that time. It's going to be some entertaining cricket. So you know that it's going to do some stuff. So you're going to want to sit down and watch it. So it's great for the game. It adds a different dimension to Test cricket, that night session. You get a new ball under lights, and it's, you know, the Shield game last week, Jai Richardson was getting it to hoop around all over the place. So you think, you know, with the world-class bowlers on both teams, and you get the atmospheric conditions right, it could do anything under lights. So, and a lot of that's outside of the curator's role. So it's, you know, a ball hooping around, it's got nothing to do with the pitch. So we sit there like everyone else, excited to watch.
So Damien, you're saying that the new ball under natural light, it will not do as much as the red new ball does?
It seems to be, you know, it just seems to be harder to bat under lights with a new ball. So again, I'm not a player, I'm just the curator. So I don't get too caught up in that. I'm not an expert in that side of things. All I know is history suggests it can be a bit more challenging under lights with that new ball.
Wow.
Jamie, what was the grass cover in that Shield game last time around?
6 millimetres.
Cool.
Yeah, so like I said, everything we do at Shield level is the same as Test level. We try to treat everything the same. So for the players coming through, they know that they're playing as close to a Test sort of pitch as they possibly can, and we just want consistency for all the teams that come here to Adelaide Oval.